And if your pastels are soft, you will not able to get the realistic kind of work. You can get impression work but not realistic. So harder the pastels, realistic your work will be. Softer the pastel, it will be more like a impression kind of work. So always use hard pastels if you want realistic kind of works. Okay, and it's easy to work with realistic works. Create realistic painting with your hard pastels. It's not difficult to blend at all. So somewhere if you feel like my pastels are broad and now I need to sharp my pastels, okay, you don't want these kind of roundness, what you can do is you simply cut the pastel this way. Now again you get the clean, nice, sharp edge ready for thin lines. And this we do when we need to work on tiny details like here, whisk, these kind of things. Okay, I can easily do this kind of lines. This help me to create the small tiny hairs or tiny details this way. Make your pastel twist and turn and you create this kind of lines. See? So your control should be completely in your hand. That pastel is same, but what you can create with this single stick. So keep twisting. See the wrist movement, how your wrist is moving. Try to go as thin as possible. So you can see I am also twisting my pastel like this. Okay, so you try these exercises. So far any confusion if you have, you can ask me. Have you got idea how to work with tiny details and tiny lines? Like my pastel is broad here, simply what I'll do, I can cut it down if I want. But I always want you to secure your one side for thin lines or tiny details, dots, striplings. So what is stripling? Stripling is these kind of dots. So we call it striplings. Okay. So just save your one side for these kind of dots and patterns. And another one, you can do the broken lines. You can do thin lines with your one side, the edges part. You can do this kind of spirals or these kind of twist and turn which I showed with you. So there are two sides. One side can be broad for your mixing, blending, layering, and one side should always be for the detail. Now if you have used this side, okay, and there is no sharp edge, what you have to do, again cut down the pastel little bit, very less. You just need this sharp crisp edge, so you just cut down. Okay, and the technique that I have shown you where you have to sharp like a pencil, so that you do it at the end when we need only 1 or 2% of details, final touches and details. So we do this technique. Okay, both the sides to make the thin lines. See, first you go with the broad side. First you just do with one broad side. Try to come up with thin lines. See, my pastel is quite broad. Okay, now it should be in my hand. Control should be here in my hand, that how I can get that thin line. create the thin lines as much as possible. So again, this is a practice. With the same broad pastel, how I can get the thin lines. You will find some of the areas you will find. So you can just turn your pastel here and there and just find one spot which can give you a thin lines. So if you keep twisting your pastel, you will find that one spot that will give you a thin line. Once you practice this one, then definitely see it's easy to get with the sharp edge or this sharp line. It's very easy to get it. Okay, you can also practice this one. So don't waste all your pastels. You can just sharp one of your pastel and you can do this way. Okay, this sharp edge, and one of the pastel you can use for doing these type of edges work. So I want you to do it from this side as well as this side. If you are not getting the thin lines, that means you need more practice. That's it. Okay, so I can also create the thin dots. See here, I can show you. I can create thin dots with this broad side of pastels. See, I don't need that this sharp kind of edge. If you have good control, you can use broad pastel also to create tiny details, broken lines. I can do with the same. Magic should be in your hand. I don't have a cutter. Can I try with the broad pastels? Yes, you can try with the broad pastels, and we all have knife in our kitchen, right? You can use your knife to cut the pastel. Okay, and or you can find it in your art store. You can find these kind of sharp knives. You can use this one, or you can simply get this one, paper cutter, right? And if you don't have paper cutter, no problem, you all have a knife. So just use a knife to cut the edge part. You have to learn the different techniques. Okay, so why we can do it with the broad pastel, no problem at all, but we have to learn the different ways of doing it. So I'm showing you some of the ways of doing it. So whatever exercise we have done today, it's just to get the control. These all exercises we have done to get the good control on pastels. So this is important. Do it multiple times. Now if you say how many times I have to do, till then you get perfect. Keep doing it. So the exercise the first day I have shared, that is also very important. The second day I have shared, that is also very important. So don't think I have practiced those exercises, so I am just going to move forward. That will be the biggest mistake. Keep doing the exercise that we have shared first day and practice this also, right? So if you practice straight line at least 50 times, you will get the perfect lines. Every the spiral you can practice, wavy lines you can practice, these type of tangle lines you can practice, broken lines you have to practice, because these all type of lines, these are part of painting. These are the elements of painting. So when you will work on your painting, you will be working on lines, shape, color, form, value, space, texture. These are the elements that you will be working on, and that can be created by these kind of exercises. Okay, I hope this is clear. Any question guys, you can ask me, or if you are doing along with me, you can share on WhatsApp. Okay, right, good Pooja. Yes, the same way. Now try to clean these lines more and more. Okay, do it multiple times. If you are doing stripling, so at least this much space should be only for the stripling, and then see are you able to get the same kind of dots in this space or not. Then this much you do broken lines. Okay, this much space, and then the rest of you can do line practice, right? I will show you how much I did the practice, and this is just a one sketchbook I have here. Okay, I have done with see, here is the key to master anything. Okay, you can see I did this, again did this. Not only me, my students have also done along these practices along with me. Okay, how much times we do to master those lines. This is the difference between master and the beginner, because they will do only a few times, and master they keep practicing the one single stroke again and again and again and again. Okay, so these kind of lines, see dots, how many times we have done these dots. So discipline should visible in your work. Okay, you can see here this is watercolor section, but I am showing you these lines. See, thin lines, quite, these are the stripling. If I'm doing the thick lines, so you can see how thick it is. Okay, then these kind of the small lines. These are not difficult, but the problem is we don't do it. We think it's boring. Okay. So these are all, you can see how much I have practiced, and this is just a one sketchbook I'm sharing. I have filled 2-3 sketchbooks just by doing these exercises. This will help you to create the realistic kind of paintings, these exercises, right? So I'm showing you here so that you all will get idea that not everyone is a born artist. No one actually is a born artist. You have to practice it multiple times, and then you do it multiple times, you start getting the clean lines, you start getting the straight lines. Now imagine you have done the layering, at least 10 layers you have done on your oil pastel painting. Okay, and finally